I want to thank all media for joining us for Super Bowl 55 media availability with Buccaneers head coach Bruce Arians. We'll get started. First question will come from John Crick.
Hi again, Bruce. Half of the head coaches in the Super Bowl over the past 10 years have been age 60 or over. I'm sure none of you would have got anywhere close to that if you weren't half of the head coaches in the Super Bowl over the past 10 years have been age 60 or over. Football coach, I'm sure none of you would have got anywhere close to that if you weren't half of the head coaches in the Super Bowl over the past 10 years have been age 60 or over. Football coach, I'm sure none of you would have got anywhere close to that.
Looking for new things every year, you're falling behind. And you can look at what some other people do, but if it really doesn't match your personnel, it's not a fit for you. There's really nothing new in this game. I mean, it's a cyclical game. I mean, jet motion and all this stuff is popular now. They ran that in Mississippi junior colleges back when I was coaching at Mississippi State. So it's nothing new. There's really anything that you can invent in this game. You can go back and get some great stuff looking through history, but you have to adapt to stay ahead in this game.
Next, we'll go to James Palmer.
Bruce, I know anybody who steps up, you want them to step up in one place, one of your starters. But when you went back and watched the film of the NFC title game, what were you missing without Antoine Winfield on the field? That was the first time you've seen your guys play without him.
Mike Edwards had a heck of a ball game. And then when Andrew Adams had to go in, he's solid. He knows what he's doing. Twan is a very dynamic player and an excellent blitzer, excellent player. But we do have some depth at safety. And I thought Mike Edwards stepped in and did a heck of a job.
Next, we'll go to Gary Klein.
Hey, Bruce. Can you take me through what brought you to bring Todd McNair onto your staff there in Tampa Bay and how he has helped Ronald Jones specifically, but all your running backs this season?
Todd was with me in Cleveland and heck of a running back. He played for me in Kansas City, knows exactly the way I want things taught and how to teach them. And I was really happy to get him back in. He went some tough times there after all that stuff with USC. And he does a great job, especially with Rojo, having been an SC guy. They hit it right. They hit it off. He gave him a lot of confidence. That's all Ronald needed. He needed confidence. He's done a great job handling LaShawn and helping Leonard. Everybody accept their role. T-Mac's a heck of a coach.
Next, we'll go to Jeffrey Arnold.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about the status of Kenyon Barner in terms of your special teams? I know you brought him in off the reserve list. What's his status going into the game, and is he practicing, or can you anticipate him being activated for the game?
He is practicing, and it'll be a late call to see if we activate him for the ball game. Jaden Mickens has been handling the return stuff, but Kenyon is an excellent special team player for us, and if we can get him up, we'll get him up.
Next, we'll go to Jess Stainbrook.
Hi, Bruce. So you've been to the Super Bowl as an assistant coach with the Steelers in Super Bowl 43. What's the difference between the role as an assistant coach versus the role as a head coach now?
I think the scheduling is the biggest thing and the feel for your team. I was a receiver coach in Super Bowl 40 and the coordinator in 43 and 45. It's different just getting half of the side of the ball ready. You have to make all those decisions on now, we're so lucky this year we don't have to travel. So for us, it was a matter of practice schedules and making sure our team is fresh, yet ready to play.
Next, we'll go to Greg Allman.
Hey, Bruce, you were talking about safety, but you've had so many positions where your depth has been tested at guard, at running back, at corner, at D-line. I just want to ask you how much of the success you've had has been insulating against injuries and having good depth in place.
Yeah, that's a heck of a roster. There's no doubt about it. Rojo goes down. We have Leonard. We have Shady. Keyshawn Vaughn had a good role there for a while. I think in all the places, I love our depth. Aaron Stinney has stepped up. We had a lot of trust in him. On and on and on. Nacho's done a great job in Vita's place and getting Steve McClendon. was huge for us down the stretch, especially in the running, stopping the run. But Jason Light has done a great job of putting depth throughout this whole roster, and even on our practice squad, we've got some practice squad guys that could really start for us.
Next, we'll go to Karen Loftus.
Hey, Coach, at this point in the season, protecting your routine is major. How much are you emphasizing to your guys, stick to your routine, protect your routine, and how much is it helping being at home, everything staying the same?
Yeah, it's really amazing to just be in our facility, be in our locker room, on the practice field, same drive to work every single day. And being able to stay in that routine has been critical because normally you're jumping on a plane or you're either at another team's facility or at a college facility, and getting accustomed to that the first few days, different meeting rooms. So that's been huge for us, as it has been for Kansas City, staying there until Saturday, just staying in our routines.
Next, we'll go to Arthur Rodriguez.
Hey, Coach, can you talk about Jacqueline Davidson and her importance in building this team?
Excuse me, say it again, please.
Can you talk about Jacqueline Davidson and her importance in building this team?
Yeah, Jackie's awesome, man. She knows the rules inside out, knows the cap inside out. She is a great addition to the front office, and her connections to New York and all the rules and everything. We never have to worry about breaking any rules. She's on top of everything.
Next, we'll go to Claudia Gestra.
Bruce, you defeated some good offenses with very good quarterbacks, but now on the other sideline will be Patrick Mahomes. Is he just another quarterback, or does he bring something to the game most other quarterbacks don't have?
Yeah, he's unique. He's very unique. There are no other quarterbacks that run out to the right and then throw it all the way back across the field to the left. You teach him not to do that, but he's great at it, so you let him do it. He's an amazing player to be able to backpedal and throw the ball so far accurately down the field. A great scrambler. There's nothing about his game that's not better than most.
We'll go to Ryan Dunleavy.
Hey, Bruce, I'm wondering about Tristan Wirfs. Were you surprised on draft day when he was still there, considering he could have been the first lineman off the board, and then how well has he played as a rookie?
Yeah, we were, and especially if people say, hey, you just moved up one spot. Well, you didn't know who else was going to trade up there for him. And, Jason did a great job. Yeah, we had him ranked the highest guy. And he came in, and he's been nothing but a dream come true for us. Extremely mature young man, great athlete, and just took the bull by the horns and just has done a great job blocking just about everybody they put in front of him.
Next, we'll go to Joey Knight.
Coach, can you speak to how your injured guys look today, namely the safeties and AB? Yeah, they all work today and look good. Now it's just a matter of, do they swell tomorrow? And we'll monitor that in the training room, but they were active today and ran around pretty good.
We'll go to Kevin O'Donnell.
Hey, Bruce. Earlier this week, Tom had mentioned that he's kind of open to the fact of playing after 45. Given what you've seen him do this year, have you or Jason talked with him or his people about extending his contract past next year?
Yeah, I don't have anything to do with contracts, so that would be all a Jason question. And I think Tom's real happy where he's at, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Next, we'll go to Mark with the Chicago Sun-Times.
Hey, Bruce, you've talked this week about the no-risk-it philosophy, and I imagine that's not absolute. You don't always want to throw caution to the wind, but in a game as big as the Super Bowl, how do you maintain that right feel that you've had for when to be aggressive and when to play it safe?
Yeah, I think each and every game, you have a feel for it on the sideline, how it's going, how your defense is playing, are the risks worth the rewards? And so I can't say that we ever go in there, hey, we're just throwing caution into the wind today. A lot of it's just gut feelings as the game is going along.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Emmanuel Morgan.
Hi, Coach. The Chargers played the Chiefs pretty well, and they kind of rushed forward. For you particularly, what kind of challenge is it to go into Chiefs offense, and how can rushing forward kind of be effective in that?
Well, yeah, when you're rushing four, you got many more defenders back there, whether it's man or zone, and you can double people and do a lot of things. When you start to have to rush five or start blitzing, you're starting to get into more either fire zone defense or man coverage, and you don't want to single these guys that often. So if you can just do it with four, yeah, it's a blessing.
Next, we'll go to Jory Epstein.
Hi, Bruce. Thanks for your time today. Your team has an extensive social justice initiative, including your players' social justice board and the mentorship program. How important to you is it that your team has these honest, open conversations about what goes on in our country, and that the team provides ways to act on those conversations?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head. Act. Yeah, I'm very, very proud of our guys and our organization. Darcy Glazer Kasowitz leads that whole thing, and our Justice Department, the team loves it. I mean, they were so happy when they came up with the idea of this year of mentoring the school children and doing everything. Those guys are really connected to those kids. And, when I talk to them all the time, it's like words are one thing, but action speaks way louder than words. And our guys have been active.
Yep. We have time for a few more. Next, we'll go to Susie Colbert.
Hi, Bruce.
Hey, Suze.
I'll be out at the stadium early on Sunday morning for a good 4 hours or so. Weather is really looking pretty nasty. So how does that impact how the game is called, and just kind of what experiences have you put the guys through just to be able to deal with that?
Yeah, we've been fortunate this year. We've had rain before and after. And, I'm hoping this one, they're talking now maybe rain in the morning and possibly clearing up for the game, but you never know. We've been outside in the wind all week, and it's been really, really windy. So that affects the kickers and the quarterbacks, obviously. But, the field's going to be in great shape. I don't think Tom has played in every kind of weather condition there is. And for our guys, it's proper shoes, proper gloves, if you're handling a wet ball.
Next, we'll go to Nora with the Ringer.
Hey, Bruce. Thanks for doing this. Just curious, both you and Kansas City, your offenses have been pretty good in some third and long situations. Now, I know you don't want to be in those situations, but can you just speak to when you are able to convert those, what it does to a defense that you're facing that maybe thought they had you and then you find a way to get out of it?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything worse than giving up the 3rd and 14 on defense, and other than giving up a touchdown. And, it demoralizes the defense. You have, to think you're off the field, then you're back out there for more play. And you'll see a lot of big plays happen after people give up that type of down and distance third down conversion. For us, it all starts with protection. I know for Kansas City, it's Patrick. He extends a lot of plays and makes a lot of plays happen. For us, it's more of design, protection, and running good routes and throwing and catching.
Next, we're going to Suni Upal.
Hi, Bruce. Jason Pierre-Paul's been getting a lot of love for the journey he's been on. What's he like in the facility and as a player on the field as well?
Oh, he's a joy, man. He's a ball of energy. I told him not to practice today, and he's running all over the place. And just the energy he brings and the intensity that he brings when he plays. He doesn't say a lot, but when he does, everybody stops and listens.
And last question will come from Santiago Tomasi.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. You were in the Cardinals. You have 1 year off before taking the place in Tampa Bay. How does that year off make you come back to the league? You were an analyst, but how does that year change your perspective?
Yeah, I did the broadcasting with CBS, and I was able to go to a bunch of different teams and see how they worked on Fridays, getting some different ideas. It also, gave me a little bit of itch to be around the locker room, be around players more. Different players I knew on other teams that I broadcasted for. But I wasn't dying to get back in. Everything just kind of fell right into place perfectly. Ownership, general manager was a great fan of trust, and my staff being available just lit a fire back in me. And my wife, she got extremely excited. She's excited. I'm excited.
Well, that's all we have time for. Appreciate you taking the time, Coach.
Thanks.
So that's head coach Bruce Arians, and I believe Tom Brady is next. Say join now and go over there, leave and join. Okay. Podium 9 Bucks for waiting. Brie Larson is up. Oh, stop screen. Hold on a second, folks. I got to share this. I have to change the screen. Be a novel thing to do, wouldn't it? All right. Yeah. Okay. That means we have somebody coming in. It's dark. There he is. Mr. Brady.
Hey, Tom, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you for joining us for today's Super Bowl 55 media availability with Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady. Our first question is going to come from Tom Curran.
Thomas.
It's an old familiar name. I know that name.
I know that guy.
Long time, pal. 20 years.
20 years. Congratulations again. I'm glad to see your success this year. Very simple question. How often do you say to yourself, why me? Why did I get this opportunity in life? Why did it break this way for Tom?
You know, I think that's part of having a, you know, it's a great question. I think about that quite a bit, actually. And, you know, I think just being grateful for, you know, all the blessings in my life. And I've got, you know, more than anyone could imagine. So in the end, I just try to do the best I could do, you know, with every situation. And you understand there's a lot of people that have supported me over the time to get to this point. So I think any time you get a chance to realize your dreams, and I've been, you know, between high school, college, pro football, doing this for almost 30 years. Just so appreciative of all the different people who have helped me along the way. Just so grateful for all the experiences that I had. And hopefully that, you know, I can, in my own way, give back as best I can to, you know, other people who may be looking to achieve and accomplish their dreams too. So it's a big picture approach. You know, at different times in my life, I haven't had the perspective that I've had. You know, I have a lot of perspective now just on this career. I wouldn't say on life. I think that I still learn it from a lot of people who have more perspective on life. But from a football standpoint, you know, I think a lot of it for me is trying to give younger players the information they need to be the best they could be. So in the end, I'm just, again, just very grateful, very appreciative. And, you know, that's pretty much how I feel on a daily basis.
We're going to go over to Camille Kostick.
I know that name too.
Hey, Tom.
Hi, Camille. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I know you probably weren't expecting to hear me. I'm corresponding with Entertainment Tonight this week, and when I found out that I got to talk to you, I was like, absolutely.
Let's
but
do
you
it.
have me like in tears over here a little bit. That it was really, I really felt that when you were speaking about that. So thank you. And I want to switch gears a little bit because I feel like of all people in Rob's life, you and I spend probably some of the most time with him. So I know at home, Rob, and I know that you know football locker room, Rob. So
yep.
Please tell me. I saw a little bit of an impersonation that you've done earlier before, and I got a kick out of it because you did pretty good, I have to say, because I like to mimic rap a lot. So can you tell me, give me like an insider edition of what it's like? I know you guys are super adamant about your treatments as much as recovery and training. Yeah. So what's feel good, got a couple of TB12 workouts in, locker room, gearing up for Super Bowl, Rob?
Oh, man. You know what? He's super excited because you know, he feels so good. You know, he's played 20 games this year, so it's the most I think he's ever played in his career. So he's one of the most unique people, as you know, just being around him. He's so positive. I think everybody wishes in their next life they come back as Rob, just because he's got such a great personality about him, just his way of being positive, and he's a real high achiever. He's very competitive, and I see the competitive nature, the determination. Like if you're, when you're down and out, you want him with you. And I think that speaks to him as a teammate, as a person. And I love playing with him. I've known him for a long time, and I'm just so proud of all his accomplishments. He's an amazing guy. And, I know for both of us, we rely on each other a lot for different things. And, I'll be looking for him this Sunday. So that's the most important thing.
We're going to go over to Play 60 kid Amia Brannon.
Hey, Tom, I'm Amaya. How are you?
Hi, Amaya.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you too. So I'm 10 years old and around the same age as your kids. They've cheered for you in almost every Super Bowl you've been in. Do you have any family traditions about the big game, and how will you celebrate if you win?
Wow. So how will I celebrate if I win? I'll be surrounded by my kids who are your age. So that's the best part about winning, is having the people that have helped you get there and support you there with you to enjoy it. So some of the best memories I've had in my life were being with my kids right after the Super Bowl and celebrating with them. So I hope we have that experience on Sunday. It's going to be a really tough game, so we're going to have to go earn it. But if we get the job done, that's exactly what I'll be doing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Amaya.
You're welcome.
We're going to go over to Greg Allman.
Hey, Tom, we hear a lot about the coaches on this Buck staff being early risers, how early in they are into the office. How early are you getting into the facility this week?
Probably get in about 6:15 or so. So pretty early. I think some of them beat me in. So I think everyone's in here to try to get as much preparation as we can. There's a lot to study. It's a tough team to prepare for, because they're very talented. They have a lot of great things that they do on defense that really challenge you. So, it's been a lot of preparation. This whole time it's been really hardcore prep. And now we ultimately have to be confident what we're doing and go out there and get the job done.
We're going to go over to Susie Colbert.
I know that name.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Susie.
So as we get closer to game time now, when we talked, you mentioned, Sunday is such a long day and just not using up too much energy. I wonder, obviously, you've been down this road. What's the Sunday routine, and what have your emotions typically been like as the day progresses? You get closer to game time, you walk in the stadium.
Yeah, it's just it's a slow build, I think, for this game, because it's 2 weeks of prep. You feel like the physical stuff's, pretty much done at this point. And then at this point, it's just going through in your head different situation scenarios, all your different calls that you'd have, just trying to think about how they're going to play us. And then, again, I think that's where the mental prep, you really can't leave any stone unturned at this point. So we've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just over 3 days left in the season. So 72 hours plus, and you got to use it all and use it to the maximum, because this is a game that's really going to challenge us. This team is a very tough team to beat. They haven't been beaten in a long time. Got a great offense, got a great defense, really well coached, very good on special teams. So just try to chill on Sunday, get your body, mentally, physically in a good place to go out there and compete and get ready for a great game. So it's a long game. It's a hard game. It's a long day, but you got to be ready when the ball's kicked off, and we're going to be challenged. They're going to challenge us, and we got to go answer the challenge.
All right, we're going to go over to Nora Princiati with the Ringer.
Yeah, hey, Tom. So both your offense and Kansas City's have converted a decent number of third and longs this season. And I'm just curious sort of what the mentality is as an offense, as a quarterback, when you manage to get one of those and kind of stick it to a defense in that situation when they might have thought that they were about to get off the field?
It feels good to do that just because, you get kind of behind the down distance on first, second down. It leaves you in third and long, and then you're able to bail yourself out of that situation. So it's a hard thing to do. I wouldn't try to make a, all day long, trying to stay in third and long and see if we could, make a bunch of plays, because that's not, it's very low percentage football. So we're going to have to play well on early downs, keep our third downs manageable, eliminate negative plays, eliminate negative runs, sacks, penalties. All those things are really important. It's got to be a really clean football game, because you get stuck behind the down and distance. These guys do a great job getting you off the field. So it's I think every play, we're going to have maximum concentration. There's probably 70 plays left in the season. So all of them are going to have to be our very best.
We have a few minutes left. We're going to go to Jonathan Jones from CBS Sports.
Hey, Tom, your offenses over the 9 Super Bowls have combined to score 3 points in the first quarter, one of those quirky little stats. And I know they're all their own individual entity, but did you ever have tinkered at all with your prep as it specifically pertains to the fourth quarter, and why or why not?
They all subscribe.
I haven't thought about that much. Yeah, you'd obviously love to get off to a fast start.
It was crazy. It just all of a sudden happened.
Hard to explain why or why not that hasn't happened. I'm sure there are all a lot of individual things.
The cause may be big because I've got all the ads on.
Why that's happened or not. So I don't know. I think ultimately for us this week, it's about taking every play, understanding what we're trying to execute on a given play, and then go make it happen. So, the one thing about this game, you're playing the other best team in the league. So there's not a lot of margin of error. If you do anything that's unsound, it's not going to work. So the execution has to be at your best. And, it should be that way. That's the way this game should be played. It should be the highest level of execution. And because it's the most time to prepare, concentration, focus. You got to lay it on the line and try to make the plays when we got them to, when they're there to be made, we got to make them.
We're going to go over to John Crick from the Toronto Sun.
Hey, Tom. 4 years ago this week, I asked you how the 39-year-old Tom Brady would fare against the 22-year-old Tom Brady in the combine agility and speed drills, and you said you'd crush it.
Yeah.
How would 43-year-old Tom Brady fare against not just the 22-year-old, but the 39-year-old?
Wow. Probably similar to when I was 39. I'd say pretty similar. I think throwing the ball, agility-wise, I'm going to work on my speed this offseason, try to get my speed up a little bit. I see all these guys running around. I got to make a few of those plays. So I got to, I've already started thinking about kind of how I'm going to train. So I'd say that's the one thing that I want to always keep working on and continue to throw the ball well, be in good position to throw the ball accurately, continue to be a student of the game. And, I think that's how you can continue to, make improvements. You can't ever think that you're satisfied. You got to continue to build and grow and learn and evolve. And some things are, going to challenge you, but you got to fight through those things. And, from my standpoint, there's always room for improvement.
Our last one's going to come from Jenna Lane.
Hey, Tom, could you just relay the conversation that you had with Jason Light about the number 7 before you decided to still play with number 12?
Jason kind of gave you all the details. So, I didn't want to come in here and, I know numbers are, for some people mean a lot. And Chris was so cool about it. So in the end, I spoke to Chris and he was, he was amazing. So I just love my experience with Chris and, he's a stud no matter what number he's wearing, 12, 14, he's a baller. So he could wear any number and be great. And I was just very appreciative that he allowed me to use it.
That's all we have time for today. Thanks, Tom.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. So that was Tom Brady. And we got just about 15 minutes before the commissioner comes up, folks. So I'm going to close this out. And I'm going to thank everybody for watching and say if you haven't done so before, I'm going to leave that meeting. If you haven't done so before, subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com. And that ends this broadcast.